Welcome to the Story Harvest for a heartwarming crop of tales with a moral for tots to teens. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to get more new stories regularly. The Cage. Mother called out to Betsy for the third time, clearly exasperated at her stony silence. Betsy was keeping a saucer of milk under the hedge for the alley cat that often slipped in for a meal. Betsy loved animals and could spend hours sprinkling grain for the sparrows or looking out for puppies to feed them a few dog biscuits. She finally heard Mother's call as she saw her coming and looked up with guilt. Betsy apologized profusely at her lack of heed, but Mother just shrugged her shoulders and asked her to get the clothes from the clothesline. The weather looked menacing. "Mom, can I have a parrot for my birthday? I really love birds. I'll take good care and I promise to keep the cage clean. Please let me have a parrot. I feel so lonely sometimes. A parrot would talk to me. I'd have company." Mother nodded absently, ignoring her pleas, as was her practice, and walked away towards the kitchen. The subject was dismissed. This time Betsy was determined to get her way. That night, after dinner, as she helped Mother with the dishes, she pleaded her case earnestly. "Mom, I'm alone. A parrot would be such a wonderful companion." Mother replied patiently, "Betsy, my dear, our feathered friends are the happiest in their natural habitat. We must leave them on the tree. They are not meant to be caged." Betsy did not argue further. She decided to defer her request for the moment. It was not long before she raised the subject again, pleading sincerely for a pet parrot. Mother thought for a while and decided to give in. She thought she would convince Betsy, not through arguments, but through realization. Sure enough, on her birthday, Betsy got a pleasant surprise. A cage hung in the porch with a bright green parrot perched on its rod. Betsy squealed in delight and hugged her mother gratefully. "Oh, Mother, this is the best gift ever. I promise I will take good care of my pet Polly." And so, Polly it was. The little bird chirped the whole day, hopping within the confines of the cage, feeding on the pieces of fruit, the chili, the grain, and dipping its red beak in the little bowl of water. Betsy spent a lot of her time talking to the fledgling, and very soon Polly had mastered the art of addressing the family members, "Mama, Dad, Betsy, good morning." Betsy was determined to teach the bird some sentences and worked hard at it. Days went by and the bond between Betsy and Polly grew stronger. One day, Betsy came home with a fever and Mother put her to bed immediately. The next morning, she had developed a rash and the doctor diagnosed the ailment as measles, imposing a quarantine. Betsy had to be isolated in her room with almost no contact with anyone. Her friends, her family, all kept away. Even Polly was distanced. Mother took care of Polly's needs, and Betsy was forced to keep away. Days went by, and Betsy was getting restless. She was irritable and complained incessantly, "Mother, I am bored. How long am I going to be cut off from my friends?" So on and so forth. Mother consoled her patiently and proposed to end the quarantine as soon as the doctor permitted. Finally, she was out of the room after almost a month of strict confinement. She rushed to Polly and the avian started twittering enthusiastically. Betsy talked without a break until she was finally packed off to school. That evening, Betsy was glued to Polly's cage and spent long hours tending to the bird. At bedtime, as mother tucked her little girl in, she called out in a soft voice, "Betsy?" Betsy caught her mother's hand and spoke earnestly. "Mom, a month of quarantine really cut me off from everyone. I realized how lonely I was without my friends, family, and Polly." Mother replied without a moment's hesitation, "Betsy, have you ever wondered how lonely Polly must be, cut off from her flock? No trees, no swooping flights, no twittering on the branches. Our amusement is the bird's imprisonment." Betsy felt a little tear rolling down her cheeks. "Yes, Mom, I realize how cut off Polly is from her own kind." Betsy drifted into a slumber, and Mother quietly tiptoed out of her room. The next morning, Betsy was up early. She went straight to the cage and greeted Polly with a good morning. Polly was pecking at a fruit. She chanted immediately, "Betsy, Betsy." Mother joined them with a smile and was surprised to see what followed. Betsy opened the door of the cage and called out softly, "Come, Polly, time to fly off. Fly, Polly, fly." Polly hopped tentatively to the edge of the cage and then, with a swoop, sailed out, soaring into the clouds to her avian world, twittering away as she dropped some soft green feathers as if they were mementos left for her foster family. Mother placed a gentle hand on Betsy's shoulders and whispered, "Way to go, dear. Polly will love you for this." Both mother and daughter stood in silence as they looked at the empty cage. It was empty, but not desolate. It was a sanctum, not a prison. Moral: if you love someone, set them free. To be continued. Did Betsy ever forget Polly? Did Polly get lost in the wilderness? What really happened? Watch The Cage Part 2 coming up shortly on Story Harvest. Please stay tuned and subscribe to the channel to enjoy the full story. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.